Welcome to the Scarlet Report. Today I come to you with another player analysis video. This time we are looking at a forward. The name is Maximilian Beier. Without any further ado, let's analyze. Okay, so who is Maximilian Beier? So Maximilian Beier is a forward who plays for Hoffenheim in Bundesliga. By the way, he scored 16 goals in the Bundesliga this season. Quite a good return for a player who is, of course, 21 years old. He plays mainly as a left winger or a center forward. He can be described as a pressing forward or inside forward. And he's actually not the smallest guy, 183 centimeters, 72 kilograms. Not the biggest guy, but he's quite agile, long legs, quite fast, extremely fast. His main strengths would be pressing. He's very good defensive outlet. Dribbling is quite skillful, as well as pace and stamina. He's like the Energizer bunny. Okay, he never stops. And then his main weakness, though I must say it's more of an area of improvement really, is his creativity. It seems like his goal scorer instinct is actually much more pronounced than his creative instinct. Is it because he can't do it? I doubt it. Maybe it's a system kind of thing. Maybe it's a mentality, mindset kind of thing. He tries to score more than he tries to create. But anyway, this is an area where I think that he can improve a little bit. The reason why I included these mind maps over here, both of them are Maximilian Beier. This is this season for Hoffenheim, where he plays. You see most of his touches are on the left/center. But also, this is from the season before, where he played for Hannover in Bundesliga 2, where he played on the right and on the left equally. And this shows that he's quite a versatile forward. He can play on the right, on the left, through the middle. He can do it all. And of course, because this is Manchester United, we have to talk about his injury risk assessment. As you can see, between 2019 and 2024, not much really. He only missed 4 games, mainly due to illnesses, coronavirus, things like that. So definitely, I mean, there's always a risk that a player can get injured. That's how football is. But with players like Maximilian Beier, the risk is actually quite minimal. I also have to add that he has a £27 million release clause. And for a player of this quality, and I'm going to show you more about him in a minute, that's definitely a bargain. Okay, so let's step into the video analysis segment, okay? Now, one thing that Maximilian Beier likes to do is that he likes to drop into this area right here, the left side of the pitch, in order for him to pick up the ball. He actually, as you can see, there is a big hole here through the center, because that's where he plays. He plays as the number 9, the center forward. But he always likes to come deep and wide to pick up the ball before he runs at defenders. For example, here, this was against Cologne in the first game of the season. He's quite fast, very skillful, and then he's got a venomous shot. Power and precision mixed in one. And then here, again, same thing against Wolfsburg, likes to pick up the ball quite wide. You know, like, he's actually similar to players like Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, especially between 2008 and 2009 at Manchester United, or players like Thierry Henry, for example, who was, of course, a number 9, but I always loved to go wide into that left side, pick up the ball, and then run at defenders with pace. And that's exactly how Maximilian Beier likes to play. And look at those skills. He's just taking on 2 defenders like that. And then a finish with his left foot. Beautiful finish. Now, that's one of his signature moves. Another one of his signature moves is this one. Is these offside trap break-in runs. He loves to make these runs in behind the defense. Runs into through balls. Now, you have to remember, with a player like Bruno Fernandes in the team, a player who makes these moves, like Maximilian Beier, would actually score a lot of goals. He will have a lot of chances like these, okay? After the FA Cup final against Manchester City, I praised Garnacho because he made a lot of these moves. And I said that that's the difference. You can find a lot of fast players. You can find great dribblers. But for you to be a truly elite player, you have to have anticipation, decision making, off the ball movement, and the ability to time your runs to perfection. And Maximilian Beier definitely does have this. And then beautiful finish. Open foot right into the bottom right corner, sorry. And then here, of course, balls that are played from the defense over the defensive line, over the opposition's defense. Of course, there is only one player who's going to get it. And here, Beier, what I like about him, and this is part of his technique, I don't know if you saw that, but he likes to do these oriented controls. And those oriented controls, not only do they allow the player to actually control the ball, but also they act as a dribble. For example, here, oriented control towards the right, what happens is that those 2 defenders are taken out. You see the ball comes into him, and then oriented control towards the right, that acts as a dribble, they are gone, and then beautiful finish into the top corner. Okay, now this is against Bayern Leverkusen. Again, same thing, he comes into this position right here, and then he's going to use his teammate. So he goes into a 1-2, That's it. But with his movement and with the pass that he made to his teammate, he's actually signaling to him, there is only one option, one thing that I want you to do. Just give me the ball back, and then the ball, the finish, beautiful, under the goalkeeper's legs. Okay, now of course, now you're gonna say, well, Mr. Scarlett reports, okay, fine, he looks like a good left winger who loves to cut inside. But where is that center forward play? Well, look at the sequence, for example. The ball comes in high. He's showing great, first touch to be able to control the ball, and then great composure in order for him to not panic and to pick up the right pass towards, you know it. Do you know who that is? That's actually our very own Weghorst, who's had actually quite a good season with Hoffenheim. But this is really good play from Maximilian Beier. The ability to play inside the box, to stay composed, the good first touch to be able to control the ball in tight spaces, and then lay it off for his teammate so he can score. And then here, this is amazing. Just coming in long ball from the goalkeeper towards Beier. Now you won't see it because it's a little dark. Okay, here you can see it clearly. So here against two defenders. Now we've seen Højlund do this kind of play at Manchester United this season, and it's something that we've been missing because besides maybe Lukaku, right? Lukaku is probably the last Manchester United center forward who could do this kind of thing. Now we have it with Højlund, but Maximilian Beier can do that. Look at his body strength. He is holding off the defender, but then again, remember those oriented control. With the right foot, he controls the ball, but also he pushes it away from these two defenders, and now they are just chasing him. And then beautiful, and remember, finish with the left foot, like I showed you before. A beautiful chipped pass into the net, calm and deadly. Now, of course, we need to talk about that pressing forward. We need to talk about the pressing side of his game. Now, this was against Bayern Munich, last game of the season. Hoffenheim thrashed Bayern Munich 4-2. Yeah, I'm not biased against Bayern Munich at all. Beautiful defensive contribution, just coming back, winning the ball for his team. But here, let's talk about some pressing and how it affects his team tactically. For example, here, again, against Bayern, the ball comes in towards the Licht. Beier is over here. So he goes on a sprint. Now, what I like about this, what he does is that he positions himself between the Licht and the midfield. So now the Licht cannot play this pass. So he's denying Bayern Munich their verticality. So obviously the only option is Neuer. And then when Neuer gets the ball, he has to go long. And of course, Hoffenheim, who are a very good pressing team. As you can see, their players are positioned in the right places for them to be able to intercept the ball. And then they won the ball. They completely suffocated Bayern Munich. In this game, Bayern Munich looked worse than we did look this season, okay? But here, this is like my favorite sequence involving Beier. So here, as you can see, again, he's pressing high against the Licht. Now, to be fair, the Licht does this. So very good composure, very good awareness. He takes out Beier. But look at him. He doesn't give up. He doesn't give up one bit. And then he comes at him with everything that he's got. And guys, this was actually what led to the fourth goal. This was at the end of the game. Hoffenheim were already winning. So he had no reason to do this. He could have taken it easy, but he doesn't care. He gives it his all every time he's on the pitch. So look how he's hounding Upamecano, and then he's gonna keep on hounding Neuer, forcing him to make this pass because he doesn't give him time. Neuer has no time to actually think about what needs to be done. And then the Hoffenheim, his teammates are there to pick it up, and then Kamaric, beautiful, scores the goal. And then here, I have another section that I've added, and the reason why I'm zooming in, Beier is over here. He was not really involved in this goal, but this just tells us so much about his personality and his mindset. Look at him. Now he's raising his hands. You think it's because he wants the ball. No, he's actually celebrating his teammate's goal. And look at him. Look at that. Look at that. This guy is pure vibes. Pure vibes, okay? And you know what they say, a picture speaks 1,000 words. Here are your 1,000 words. This guy loves winning, and he gives his all on the pitch. Every time he's on the pitch, he gives everything he's got, and he's a team player. This guy would fit in perfectly with the personalities of the likes of Garnacho, the likes of Højlund, Dalot, who is very professional, Bruno Fernandes, definitely, and Kobbie Mainoo, as well as that big brother attitude that Onana has, that warrior, iron-willed mentality that Lisandro Martinez has. This guy would fit into the core group in the dressing room seamlessly. Very, very good player, okay? Now, of course, we cannot just talk about Beier as a player. We also have to talk about how he would fit into the Manchester United squad. Now here I have omitted certain options from our forward options for various reasons. For example, Mason Greenwood. I cannot talk about Mason Greenwood until Manchester United make an official announcement about him. I hope that you guys are going to respect my decision on that. Then there are players like Shoratire and Pellistri. I think that they are so down the pecking order. I don't think it's realistic for them to expect to play for Manchester United. Pellistri especially, I mean, I like him a lot. I think this season maybe he should just be sold somewhere, maybe with the buyback option or a sell-on clause or something like that. But I think he just needs to go somewhere where he can get on with his football and grow, because he's talented. I really like him. I'm just not sure that he can actually play for Manchester United right now, that he's going to be able to get the minutes. And of course, Jadon Sancho. That guy cannot play for Manchester United again. He needs to be sold. I'm done with Jadon Sancho. And the reason why I've included Anthony instead of Jadon Sancho is very easy. First of all, Anthony did not actually fight with the club, but also because Jadon Sancho has got a market. That's a player you could sell for 45, 50 million pounds to a Saudi club. But Anthony has had 2 abysmal seasons at Manchester United. Nobody's going to want to pay a fee for him. If someone gets him on loan, it's going to be for 25 or 50% of his wages. So definitely not worth it. What I'd rather have is have Anthony fight for his place. He's not an automatic starter, fights for his place, and then this is his last chance. It's either you make it or you leave the club next season. But that's all we can do right now, okay? And so with Maximilian Beier, what the main function that he's going to have to execute here at Manchester United is, of course, to act as cover/competition for Højlund. As I've shown you from the video, they have quite similar profiles, similar skill sets, so he can be really just the right guy to cover for Højlund if we lose him to injury or something, but also to push Højlund to do his best. And if we're not playing Højlund because of tactical reasons, Maximilian Beier would be the ideal guy to replace him. But then on the left, also, don't think that Garnacho and Rashford are the only options. I think Beier can be definitely a good option there, especially because Garnacho, you might disagree with me, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I think that whether he plays on the left or on the right, he's always good. That's what I like about Garnacho. For example, in the FA Cup final against Manchester City, he was quite direct on the right. If you remember the game against Aston Villa, 3-2. Garnacho scored a beautiful goal, cut in from the right-hand side and shot with his left foot, again showing that he's very good with both feet. I think that Garnacho on the left, he probably can score a little more. He's more dangerous with his goal scoring potential. But then on the right, he's just more direct and he can be much of a creative option for us. So I think that if for some reason, let's say Anthony is just not cutting it and then Amad Diallo is injured, or maybe he's still young and needs a little bit more time, we could play Garnacho on the right and then Beier, if Rashford is still not focused on his football and it's still the Rashford that we've seen this season, then you slot in Beier here. You could have a front three of Maximilian Beier on the left, Højlund through the center, Garnacho on the right. Or you could have Amad Diallo on the right with, of course, Højlund through the middle and then Rashford on the left. These 6 options right here, remember, we do have injuries. Remember, Erik Ten Hag, one thing is sure about him is that he wants to win. So Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, he's going to go all in. So you can expect at least 55 plus games this season. So there's going to be plenty of minutes for all of these players to play. Plus they can give us versatility. But how about Maximilian Beier on the right-hand side? Could that work? Well, let's actually step into the tactical board, okay? So basically, if he played on the right here, I gave him the number 99 and a black shirt, just so he's a little more obvious to you guys so you can track him easily here on the board. This is what our formation would look like in those pre-match, Premier League presentations, okay? But then when we move to a defensive shape, okay? So when we are pressing the opposition to win the ball, remember, Erik Ten Hag's Manchester United are actually very good. I've talked about it in many of my videos at pressing from the front, okay? Our turnovers stats are actually very good, okay? So with players like Beier, like I showed you in that sequence against Bayern Munich, he can be an amazing outlet for us. So basically he's going to be wide alongside Mainoo and Dalot. They will take care of this right-hand side. Mainoo is quite physical, very good. Dalot is also very good tackler, quite fast. Any opposition team will not dare to actually play around from the back, from their using their left back position, and Beier is definitely a good outlet when it comes to pressing. But then what happens when we are in possession? When we are in possession, and the reason why I wanted a player like Hiroki Ito, breathe in, breathe out, anger management. I'm not gonna talk about Hiroki Ito to Bayern Munich. Anyway, those kind of left backs who can also play center back. The good thing about them, and I think Shaw can also play that role, Malaysia also, is that they can drop into a back three shape right here with Amrabat or whoever plays center defensive midfielder for Manchester United. Basically form this shape right here, and then Dalot, we can actually unlock his attacking potential. So basically Dalot pushes wide on the right hand side. We know that he's fast, we know that he's a good dribbler, he can cross the ball, he's got a really good shot in him. He's definitely a player who can contribute a lot in the attacking third. And so by having Dalot here on the wide right area, that means Beier can actually play through the center alongside Højlund and Bruno. And so basically Beier can make those runs in behind the defense, or he can drop deep and allow Højlund to make those runs in defense. And bear in mind, you still have Garnacho on the left, and then Bruno and Mainoo in the midfield. This could be a very good shape for us to kind of maximize Beier on the right. That means on the right hand side, you can use him as a pressing outlet, but then when we are in possession, by having Dalot play on the right hand side and Shaw or Malacia or whoever we sign at left back drop into form a back three or a 4 diamond like this with Amrabat, we can allow Beier to play more through the middle, where, as I showed you in that video analysis segment, can be extremely deadly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. What do you guys think about Maximilian Beier as a Manchester United target? Would you like to see him in a Manchester United shirt? If not, what are some of the alternatives that you would love Manchester United to go and sign? Please leave your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section below. Until next time, cheers.